Okay, welcome everybody to another modern league on Magic Online. I'm going to be playing some Indomitable Creativity through today. This is a list I saw, I think came, maybe quarterfinals, semi-finals, I think semi-finals, in a recent challenge by pilot McBronze. It caught my attention just because it's a little bit odd, with some odd new inclusions, but I actually just played a couple of matches of this league just to see what it's like, and I'm actually 2-0, and it's been before. I was quite impressed with some of the cards, so we'll just have a quick rundown. So I've always been a fan of creativity. I've played quite a lot of it in the past. So the idea is you play no creatures or artifacts in your deck, and then you make some tokens to cast creativity on and put a huge creature or two into play. So it's usually Archon of Cruelty, but this time Pilot's gone for one Valgavoth as well. So this is a huge 9/9 flying lifelink. Ward sacrifice 3 non-land permanents, which is pretty difficult in a lot of decks. And if a card you didn't control would be put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, exile instead, and you can play the cards exiled with Valgavoth by paying life equal to its mana value rather than paying its mana cost. So another huge beater. So yeah, that's the main thing with the targets. We've got some one-offs, which I'm not always a fan of, but I suppose we see quite a lot of cards. So we've got one Teferi, we do have another one in the board, just good at stopping, good tempo play to bounce something from the opponent, good to protect our combo. One Brain Surge, which I did draw in a couple of games and was really good. This deck, especially with Ren and 6, has, you can flood out a little bit, so having the ability to, wheel most of your hand and get a bit of card advantage is really nice at instant speed. Paw Patch Formation 2 in the main I really like. I've been a fan of this. We are running a Leyline Binding mana base, so it's difficult because all of our lands need to be mountains, but we do have 2 Triomes, Xander's Lounge and Jetmir's Garden to enable this for 1 mana. We've got 6 1-mana red removal spells, 4 Galvanic Discharge. Just deciding that that's better than going face, and 2 Lightning Bolts as well. Playing 3 Reprieve just as a sort of counter spell, tempo play. And then another card that really caught my attention is Esper Origins. This is from Final Fantasy. So it's a 2-mana sorcery, Surveil 2, gain 2 life. If this spell was cast from a graveyard, exile it, and then you transform it and it becomes a saga creature. So yeah, it's just a little bit of card selection, get a little bit of life gain. Doesn't look great, but actually it's performed really quite well. So when you flash it back from the graveyard. Again, you Surveil 2, and then put this enchantment onto the battlefield. But number 1 is reveal the top card of your library. If it's a permanent card, put it into your hand. So you've usually surveilled a land or a Fable or a Ren and 6 or a Leyline Binding onto the top of your deck, so you get to draw that. Number 2 is add green, and I didn't really think too much of that. We don't have a big desire for green mana, but it actually lets you double spell. You can Fable and Paw Patch, or Fable and remove a spell or whatever. And it also let me hard cast a Archon of Cruelty ahead of schedule, just with the extra green paying for some of the generic mana cost of Archon. And then the third one doesn't really matter. It's other creatures you control gain +2/+2 and trample. But also relevant is it is a creature. It's a 4/4, so it can attack and block, and also you can creativity it. So it's another way to get a creature for creativity. I had something else to say about that as well. You can also obviously either surveil it into the graveyard for value or Fable of the Mirror Breaker it away. So yeah, it's an interesting card, and one that I'm excited to try out a bit more. Sideboard is the obligatory 4 Consigned to Memories, and then just a lot of Veil of Summers for the pesky blue and black decks, and then just some sort of Silver Bullets, Surgical Extraction, Meltdown, Fire Magic, Teferi, just good in High Noon, all good in certain matchups. And then we have 3 other creativity threats. So you bring this in, against a range of things. So Sarah's Emissary gives you protection. You increase your control protection from the chosen card type. So, I mean, the classic one was always against something like Burn. You can name Instant or what have you. Ellis Norn Grand Sea Cinnabite is other creatures you control get +2/+2, but other creatures your opponents control get -2/-2. Good against energy. Just essentially, it's just a creativity-able board wipe. And then we've got good old Ellis Norn, Mother of Machines. So this is going to be for the white-black sort of strategy. Just turns off all of their triggers. So yeah, exciting list, and one that I'm glad to be playing. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Please do consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. Take this opportunity to push my Manatraders partnership as well. Been using Manatraders to rent the cards I want for a long time, and I've found their service to be really good. So in the description below you'll find a code and affiliate link good for 40% back on your third month of subscription. I do get a little kickback from everyone that uses it, but obviously beneficial for all parties involved there. So yeah, if you've got any questions about starting online, it can be a little bit daunting starting on Modo, so let me know in the comments. I think there's quite a decent help page these days on the Magic Online website with videos on things how to actually use the client. It's not too difficult, but it is just a little bit clunky as compared with some of the more modern clients. But yeah, do let me know if you've got any questions. Right, so we're going to be on the draw here. This is round 1 for the purpose of the video, but round 3 for the purposes of the league. See what we're up against. Right, see an interesting hand. I think I'm going to keep this one. We can go and fetch the white Triome so that we have access to Leyline Binding on turn 2 or Reprieve. And then yeah, just try and work our way towards finding a creativity. Quite a controlling hand, but that's fine. If we come up against energy, it's a little bit awkward because we can't go discharge on 1 and then binding on 2, which is a little bit of an awkwardness with this mana base. Just with everything having to be mountains, the mana base is stretched pretty thin. So we have to go. If we have to discharge on 1, we're probably doing it with if we have to discharge on 1, we do it with a Sacred Foundry, and then turn 2 probably go and get green-red. So we've got 3 types, and then we can play this for 1 mana binding on 3. Fiery Islet. Okay, so we are going to be discharging on turn 1 here. Opponent looks at the top of our deck, sees Archon of Cruelty. Okay, so I'm just going to go for this now. Let's go. Yeah, Sacred Foundry. And we only have to use 1 energy. That's obviously a key part of, I think, why this pilot has chosen to go for the Galvanic Discharge, because now we have 2 energy. If we draw another one, we can kill something bigger. But we're not running any of the, Wrath of the Skies type things. Double white, pretty hard. There's only so far we can stretch the mana base. Opponent surveilled a slick shot into the bin. May mean they have another one. Okay, opponent getting really aggressive here. We go to 12. Opponent's got 3 cards in hand. Okay, and a Mutagenic Growth. Raucous Theatre. If I fetch a basic mountain, we've then got 2 types. If we then we can't get green, so let's say we fetch basic mountain in order to reprieve. We'll have 2 types, and then if we play this, we'll have 3/4, so we can binding the next turn. So I'm going to play the Bloodstained Mire here, so we can potentially reprieve something. If they play Slick Shot Show Off or anything like that, we will also reprieve a Expressive Iteration. Opponent's shocking in. We've got 2 cards in hand. Yep, so good reprieve target here. Draw a land. They did shock in for that, so that implies they have another spell. So now if we go, let's play this. Essentially we need to draw okay, preordain. Yeah, we need to draw creativity really. I don't think the opponent runs Spell Pierce. They put 1 on top, 1 on the bottom. Cast that Leyline Binding. Eat the Slick Shot. Go to 5. We can also block with the Dwarven Mine token. So let's go. I'm just going to go Dwarven Mine. Just make some blockers. Then if the opponent doesn't... Okay, Cutter is very good, especially if they have another spell. Hopefully it's not Lightning Bolt or Lava Dart. Okay, Bolt. So that gains Trample. We can go block here. Go to 3. Okay, so we really need to draw creativity here. So let's go 1, 2. We draw 2 removal spells. I think I want to go ending here. So play the Mesa, ending the core. I've only got 1 card in hand. I think it's correct to ending the Cutter. And then bolt the Swift Spear. And then we'll fetch another Dwarven Mine to block. Well, that's another Cutter. It really depends on what they've got in hand. It is another spell. So this is a 3. They make this. It gains haste. We block here, but we have to fetch. Okay, so I think, yeah, if we draw a creativity there, we're in pretty good shape. Right, so we want High Noon. Probably, what else do we want? And what don't we want, I guess? Reprieve isn't very good here because all their spells are so cheap. Poor Patch Formation is fine because it kills Slick Shots. Let's go out with the Reprieves, in with High Noon. We don't want Mother of Machines. I don't think we want Cenobite. We might want Sarah's Emissary though. Name, instant, or creature. Is that better than Archon gaining us life? I think I'm going to trim one of these and bring in an emissary. Then I think, yeah, I think that's fine. Teferi, maybe we do want a couple of reprieves. Teferi's probably not that good. Reprieve on the play is probably fine. Don't think we want fire magic. Yeah, we definitely had a chance there. Okay, this is good. Esper Origins gaining us life is nice. Double removal spell as well. If they play a creature on 1, I will probably... might just play a turn behind here. So just go fetch a basic mountain. Don't think we need any blue mana. No, I'll fetch a Triome here and then play... don't know, using our mana is quite nice. I could just fetch... I could fetch a Stomping Ground. What's the best way of sequencing this? I think I want to use my mana here. If we go fetch Stomping Ground, Bolt, and then Sacred Foundry, Esper Origins. It's a difficult one. Or I just go Mount. I could just go Surveil Land, untap, Bolt, Surveil Land again. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to play a turn behind and just focus on removing their creatures. So we need green mana. I'm just going to get Commercial District, I think. Right, so Surveil, Leyline Binding. Are we in the market for a Leyline Binding? I don't think so at this point. Having fetched just a double colour land. Okay, opponent draws a couple cards. Drawing Arid Mesa, which isn't actually too bad because we do need to make a token. Mutagenic Growth. Okay, I mean if they've got 2 growths. Oh no, that's fine. Okay, so now we go Shock in, yes. Bolt here. Yeah, getting the opponent to use the growth in our turn is nice. Yeah, I forgot. Obviously, mutagenic growth means that it's a 5/5 because it puts an extra card type in the graveyard. Could have show off here. Okay, couple creatures, 16. So let's go ooh. This doesn't draw a card, so given that we're going to Surveil 2, I should Surveil first. Should be playing Arid Mesa there because they know about it. So we can get Elegant Parlor. Do we have any blue cards at all? We have 1 Brain Surge. I think I'm just going to get Xander's Lounge and then what about High Noon? I don't think we're in the market for that. We probably want Fable. We can just flash that back next turn if we want to. Obviously, if the opponent taps out, we'll be going for creativity. We probably want to hit Valgavoth. If the opponent holds up Spell Pierce, or it looks like they're holding up Spell Pierce, I don't think I'm going to go for creativity. I think I'll just go for Fable. Or Esper Origins. Probably Fable, honestly. Lava Dart is one of our worst enemies in this. Just because it can remove two creatures. 4 cards in hand for the opponent. Yeah, it really depends on what they do. We're taking 4 currently, but obviously they're incentivized to play spells. Iteration. Okay, so hopefully they tap out here. Oh, Lava Dart to the bin. Okay. That's a very good surveil for them. Essentially, it's almost like drawing a card. And they hold up as well. So I think I'm just going to fetch a... Yeah, let's just go land. I'm going to fetch a dwarf. I'm just going to go for the Esper Origins here. Gain us some life. Uses our mana best as well. If they do have Spell Pierce. I mean, we can't go for creativity here because they have the Lava Dart in the bin. 1 point on creativity, you can creativity your opponent's creatures if there's something that you need to get rid of. When creativity was popular, that used to be if the opponent slammed an Elish Norn, you could creativity the opponent's Elish Norn and your stuff, and then everything would resolve. The Elish Norn would be gone by the time Archon hit the field, so you would get the trigger. Obviously the opponent can find another creature, but in the decks that were playing Elish Norn, it used to be sort of mid-rangey stuff, so yeah, used to want to do that. Obviously if they hit another Elish Norn then fine, but right, yeah, I'm just going to go for this. If they Spell Pierce it, we're likely just dead. I don't know if they run Spell Pierce. I think they do, and they probably would bring it in against us. Yeah, gaining 2 life, making a 4/4 blocker, and surveilling 2. All pretty good stuff. So we can't run too much graveyard hate. We could run Leyline of the Void, but we won't be bringing that in against prowess. But something like a spell bomb would be good here, but you can't run any artifact graveyard hate. So we don't really want to draw that. So we'll go... I don't really want any of this. I think I'm just going to graveyard both, given that we've got a Tarn in hand, and hope. Yeah, I think we're just going to go graveyard, because if we top this and then there's another land on the top. Okay, it's a Galvanic Discharge. Question over whether we block here. See what they go for. Obviously Lava Dart doesn't... Slingshot Show Off is probably death. So we get a 10. This is hitting for 6. They can Lava Dart us to 9. Is that Lava Dart from hand as well? Yeah. So that's 8. There you go. Lava Dart, Lava Dart. Yeah, okay. Can't beat. I mean, we're just dead on turn 4. That Surveil into the grave. I mean, they did have Lava Dart in hand as well. That Surveil really hurt us. You know, just dumping Lava Dart into the graveyard that they can then cast for free is hard. But yeah, I feel like in that first game we had draws that just, you know, we had the Fable trigger and stuff, and if we just draw on creativity, we probably just win. But yeah, we just get got there. So we'll move on to round number 4. Gonna play first. We have 2 lands, but that's okay. The rest of the hand is fine. Gonna keep it. I think I'm just gonna lead on Xander's Lounge. Yeah, lead on Xander's Lounge, and then we can Binding on turn 2 if we need to. We can Reprieve. Mana base in this deck does take a lot of thinking about. Oh, I probably should have just fetched the other Triome. Okay, Creativity is a good draw against Tron. Eight cards in hand. Do you need to find another land? If they don't do anything here, I'll probably just Paw Patch Formation to draw a card. They're doing something. Could be Chalice on 1, which we don't care about. Talisman. I'm just going to Reprieve that just to draw the card, really. So we'll go and grab Sacred Foundry. Okay, we draw the land, which is nice. So, yeah, I think Shocking In is fine in case we want to Paw Patch. See if they have Tron. They do have Tron. Sire of Seven Deaths. Well, we don't actually care too much about Sire of Seven Deaths. Depends what we hit with our creativity. I could Binding it here. I think I'm just gonna okay, so land. Am I getting the dwarf and creativitying the dwarf, or do we creativity the food token? I think getting a dwarf is fine. Creativity, I think just this. We hit Valgavoth. which isn't the best draw. Actually, getting a dwarf is quite big because now we can block the sire. But this is a case where the inconsistency of having 2 threats is quite big. You know, if we'd have hit Archon there, I mean the game's not over, but we're in great shape. See what the opponent does. Just a point of note, it does say during your turn you may play cards exiled with Valgavoth. So yeah, can't hit counter spells. 4 mana here. Like all his dust is probably game winning. I don't know how many copies of All Is Dust they're playing. Kozilek's command is good because it makes the tokens to sacrifice to the ward cost. Four mana. Looks like they might have Khan. But notably, another point on Valgavoth, you can play lands. They may go and get Ensnaring Bridge here. I don't think they run things like Oblivion Stone anymore. Yeah, they get Ensnaring Bridge, but we have 2 answers to that, so... So what we're going to do is just go discharge the Khan. Does this have Vigilance? No. Okay, we do have a Devourer. So it's in our interest to kill as many of their permanents as we can. Right, so let's go discharge Khan. I suppose I could have just attacked Khan. Then I'll play the Khan. We obviously don't have any sideboard artifacts, so we'll just go. We could go pending or binding. Let's go. What if we just go binding? Oh no, we can't do that. I don't think I was meant to kill the Khan. Binding the bridge, attack with Valgavoth. Or pending the bridge. Or we could go Esper Origins, look for a land. I think I'm going to go Esper Origins. Okay, there's another binding on top, so let's go graveyard, top, leyline binding, get rid of the bridge, attack for 9 in the air. Bit awkward they didn't fetch double. We haven't got double white that turn. Probably shouldn't have bothered casting the Khan. But it shuts off the talisman at least. If we'd had double white there, it would have been good to go. Like, pending. Like, let's get rid of as many permanents as we can. Got Leyline Binding coming in. Opponent's got 4 cards in hand. Again, all is dust. Yeah, if they go attack Khan, attack kill Khan, all is dust, get back bridge. Okay, they play on Urza's Tower, so they have all the mana in the world. No, I was just thinking if they go for Kozilek's Command, they don't make the tokens until the ward trigger has resolved. So yeah, they can't do that. Okay, Ugin getting rid of binding is okay. Well, really depends on what they do now. We have another binding though, so we can get rid of the bridge. Still close, this one. So they could now get rid of Valgavoth if they go Ugin, if they cast a spell. If they cast a spell and then exile this, they could get rid of these 3 things. And then we're kind of, well, we're in really bad shape. Although we're binding the Ugin and the opponent doesn't have much left. They do have a Devourer under here. I'll see what they do. They could go like Colourless Spell, Exiled Dwarf, like a Talisman, Exiled Dwarf, and then sack the Talismans and the bridge. I don't know what their last 2 cards are. Yeah, Chalice on 0. Yeah, that's what they're doing. So now they get to go. They got 1 card in hand. Because now if they have some, well, what? Oh yeah, they just need another colourless spell to exile Valgavoth. Then they can sacrifice. If there's another Ugin, they can sacrifice Ugin, this, kill this. Oh, that's rough. Yeah, that's really rough. Now they can sacrifice Talisman, Bridge, Chalice. I mean, yeah, I don't know. That's obviously really, really good. And now we need to fight. What have we got? Oh, we got Binding on top. So we go cast. we have to get rid of Ugin. They'll probably kill Khan. Okay, so we're drawing Binding. Do we cast the Fable or the Brain Surge? Let's cast Brain Surge because we get to see the cards now. Okay. So we don't want Prismatic Ending, and we can probably get rid of one of these lands. Land, Binding. Ah, but they can just get Ugin back by devouring the Binding, right? Maybe I was meant to just Fable, but I don't know. Don't think so. There you go. Get Devourer back. Exile Binding. Yeah, this has all gone about as bad as it could. And that is a big reason to, you know, if we'd have hit the Archon of Cruelty there, I guess actually we can't fetch a Surveyor land here either. How many does Ugin come in with? 7. We couldn't have even held up both of these. No, we have to just fetch a Dwarf. And hope to draw creativity. I think I'm just going to use some mana here. Foothills, okay. So yeah, that was pretty rough. Natural Tron, we hit the wrong one. So all of these consigns come in. I think our threats are probably fine. We don't want this removal really. Don't think we want something like Meltdown. No, none of that. Bolt is good into Khan, I guess. Teferi if they're going to be getting bridge. Maybe 1 Bolt. No Besaidu in this list. Prismatic Ending is okay. Right. What's no? Because it's only 1 land. If we had another land, this would be a really good hand. But yeah, that's all right. So we are going to need to find another land. We also need, the mana base is also pretty shaky. I think I'm going to go and get, we really need Consign up though. Maybe we put the Binding back, go and fetch Commercial District, look for another land. Yeah, I think so. I think we're on going hopefully turn 3, turn 4. So we'll go commercial district, look for another land, poor patch formation, hopefully find the lands on time, and fable creativity. Okay, they found a Devourer of Destiny. You can consign that trigger, but I don't think that's something we want to do. I guess we might want to fetch shot consign on one, but it's unlikely. If they go, what, Labyrinth into Talisman. See what they exiled. You can sometimes glean some stuff. Trinisphere. Okay. They exile an Urza's Mine and an Expedition map, which implies they have quite a lot of Trons. This is... I think I have to just let that resolve. Hopefully we'll find a fetch land. I mean, that guarantees our land drops. I don't think we can say no to a Ren and 6. Like if they go Trinisphere, we're not actually too bad into Trinisphere, especially having got the Ren and 6 down. They do usually sideboard 3 Trinispheres. What's that? Eldrazi Temple. Interesting, Eldrazi Temple. Oh, that's one of the new set artworks. 3 mana. Could be Trinisphere. It is Trinisphere. We don't mind too much. Okay, find our land. So I think now I'm just going to hold up poor patch formation. I have to fetch this. Well, I don't have to do this, but might as well do this. Now, so we get the land back for Ren and 6. Consign is awkward into Trinisphere because at the moment we can only consign one thing, because replicate I don't think will count. Replicate, does it give you the reminder text? When you cast a spell, copy it for each time. I don't think that would count towards the 3. So if this is a Myco spawn, we have to consign the trigger to exile our land. So that's this one. I don't think this works. Maybe it does. Oh, it does. Okay, that's interesting. I don't know if that's correct. So it's already going at that, so that and that. The question is, do we now creativity or do we wait until next turn to creativity for more? If we go creativity, they discard a card. They got 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. I kind of want to do it next turn. Is that crazy? Because if we go... No, I think I'm doing it next turn. Because if we go creativity, put an Archon into play... I think I'm just going to plus here and hold up the ability to get a dwarf in case they play... I don't know. But yeah, if we put an Archon or a Valgavoth into play and they just go Devourer or Oog in it, we don't get much value. Whereas now we might be able to creativity on 3. Oh, they find all is dust. That's okay. So now that's another reason to not crack this, because now we get to go get a dwarf, and we get to get the last 2 cards from their hand. And again, if we'd done that and they'd just gone all is dust, we would have lost our big fatty from creativity. So I think that's right there. Okay, we hit 2 Archons this time. Okay, opponent's got 0 cards. They need another all is dust, really. I don't think they can come back from that. They go all is dust. I mean, if they go all is dust, we're in a little bit of trouble. But okay, the consign was interesting into Trinisphere. I guess we did pay 3 mana for it, so yeah. Right, we have creativity. I think we need to mulligan this. I think it's just a little slow. Lightning Bolt's kind of dead. We have 2 creativities. Mulligan. This is a lot better. Just the presence of consign just makes hands so much better. Okay, Labyrinth. We did see that. Did we see Chalice? Is Chalice on 1? Okay, Chalice on 1. Consign to memory versus Chalice. You can replicate it. Yeah, you can replicate it to get around the Chalice trigger. The original copy of Consign will be... what do I want to go and get here? I'm actually going to get Jetmir's Garden. Oh, do we want to play Renin 6? Let's get Jetmir's Garden. I don't think I'm going to play Renin 6. Oh, that's a good draw. Yeah, so you replicate it, and the Chalice trigger will only counter the initial copy. Okay, no land from the opponent. So now we're going to go... It's a bit risky fetching here. But because they could go that in response. Let's go round 6. Oh, hold on. Hold on. I think I need to pass again. Because yeah, I'm just going to binding the Chalice here. But if I'd gone Renin 6 there, and then it leaves them open to casting a load of stuff. We don't need more, so let's just grab Commercial District. Don't want an ending. Does mean we might miss our 4th land here, but we can now go Renin 6 in safety. plus play the land and pass. Essentially, we're just never tapping out of consign to memory. Okay, opponent never finds their third land. They kept obviously quite a risky one with a turn 1 Chalice on 1, but Chalice on 1 isn't that good against us. So yeah, we are 3-1 in the league. Let's play the 5th and final round. Right, on the draw here, this hand's fine. Quite sort of, what's the word, flexible. Springs probably indicates Belcher. That's land number 4. I'm going to graveyard that for now. I want to find some interaction. Okay, so it's actually Frog. Okay, there's Frog. So I'm just going to zap that. So let's go discharge. Force. Okay. Let's go land, yes. Bolt. Okay, so they discard a load of cards to keep the Frog alive. Next turn we're going to binding it. We haven't got green or blue mana. Let's go land. Pass. Then in the opponent's upkeep. So we want green mana here, so we'll go and get, it could be just Commercial District, honestly. No, I'll get Jetmir's Garden. Binding the Frog. I think we did quite well out of that. Renin 6. I mean, there's no chance they're not holding a counter spell. We'll go for a Ren. Putting that land on the bottom actually cost us quite a lot. Opponent's missing lands as well. There's another Renin 6. Well, we'll go for it again. Okay, that resolves this time. Play a land. What's the opponent got in hand? I'm just going to use my mana here. Opponent could... no, they haven't got Spell Snare either. Surveil 2. So we don't want the land, but we'll have the creativity. Don't know what the opponent's got in hand. Could be Murktide that they're waiting to use Counterspell. Kaito. Okay. So I'm just going to binding that. Actually, I'm probably just going for creativity this turn. They've used 2 force. Again, we hit Valgavoth, which we'd much rather that was a Archon here. I guess Valgavoth is good against some things. So they could go Bowmasters, shoot the Sheriff. Okay, so they don't do that. They'd have had to sacrifice their whole board as well, and we go off again next turn. So 3 copies of Veil of Summer to Fairy. I don't think we want any of these other creatures. Don't think we want Surgical. Don't want Fire Magic. Pending's good against Frog. Brain Surge is a little bit awkward into Bowmaster. These aren't great. I definitely want to trim some number of these. Fable tends to be quite good. Pending is good into Frog. I think I'm going to trim one more Discharge, one Pending. Actually, we do need to worry about... I think I'm going to actually trim the Pendings. Their sorcery speed. I think I'm going to keep in the removal because of Harbinger of the Seas. We didn't see anything that would make us think that they're an Oculus build. What do you think about this hand? So this goes and fetches the Triome, which allows us to Veil of Summer, but I think we'll keep it. I'm going to risk this one. We'll get the Triome. Okay, that's not a good draw. If they play a Frog, I'll be bolting it. I don't think so. Or am I meant to fetch a Surveil land? Because we're going to need lands anyway. I'm going to fetch a Commercial District. Well, there goes Valgavoth, so I'm glad we've got that out. Okay, Raucous Theatre. So that's fine. Tap land, Surveil 1. Top that. Bolt here. See, I'll take our 2 for 1. Subtlety in is interesting. So we've got land on top. We fetch Sacred Foundry. And then go for Leyline Binding. If they try and counterspell, we'll Veil of Summer. What is this? Oh, right, that is a counterspell. Okay, we draw a land. Worth a quick note on reprieve as well. In these type of matchups, you often end up reprieving your own spell. Because it's, you know, not all the time. Obviously, if they haven't got the mana to recast whatever they're going for. But against a counter spell, if we say go Fable next turn, and they go counter spell with the mana to cast again. If we go reprieve our own Fable, we get the card back and draw a card, and their counter spell's wasted. Probably not going to go for Paw Patch here. like it's good to kill. No, we'll go for it. Let's just go draw a card, create a... Actually, might as well... Might as well surveil first. I don't actually think we've got any surveil lands left. Oh, we do have an elegant parlour. Haven't got blue, which we need only for brain surge. I think it's worth just getting elegant parlour. Another land can hit the bin. I'm going to hold on to Poor Patch Formation. Okay, Fable resolves. I guess they could have a Toxic Deluge. Oh, they've just got loads of removal. Consult the star chart. Okay, I'm just going to reprieve this. It's really like value here. You know, they've spent 4 mana. But if they now turn around and slam Harbinger, it's a problem. And so we know they've got Consult the Star Charts. Yeah, so we'll go Archon, Binding. Okay, we draw another reprieve. Trouble is, we don't have the mana. So if we go for creativity, no, I don't think we go for this turn. I think we just go kill this. Attack for 1. And then we've got Binding up, we've got Reprieve up, we've got Poor Patch Formation. I think I'm just going to reprieve this again. Discharge isn't a bad draw because it insulates us from Harbinger of the Seas. So let's go red. I have 2 cards. Two. Okay, so now we just go for the full. Oh, we can only do it on 1. That's awkward. Because it really depends what they've got in hand. I think we just do it on 2 anyway. So let's go to combat. Attack for 1. Play a land. Fetch a dwarf. So yeah, I'm gonna do it on 2. We lose a dwarf here. Obviously this is awful into counterspell. But yeah, they have Dismember, but we could only actually hit 1 anyway. But yeah, now they just lose their last card. we draw. And then, I don't know, they need a kill spell, otherwise we can start copying this. Okay, well, 4-1. Deck felt really good, like surprisingly so. I'm not sure about this, the Valgavoth split, because I think most of the time you just want to hit Archon. 3 as well, we saw a couple of times where we were getting low on it. I think we get a little bit of, there's a little bit of a sort of edge to be had via people not really knowing what you're doing. So, you know, they didn't know to play around with things like Reprieve. I'm not sure on the numbers. I'd love to chat to the creator of the deck on how they arrived at the exact numbers in here. We're very removal heavy, and then with these sort of one-of Teferi, Brain Surge, do we see that many cards? I guess with 3 Surveil lands, Fable, Esper Origins, we are seeing quite a lot of cards. But yeah, I was really impressed. One of the better leagues I've had at the moment. Been in a little bit of a slump, I reckon. But yeah, let me know if you've got any questions, comments. I'll answer them as best I can. But for now, I'll see you again soon. Cheers.